Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Force users of all ages, and welcome back to Inside the Tauntaun, a Star Wars podcast, where we get to the guts of what makes Star Wars meaningful to us. My name is Dino Nicandros, and as always, I'm joined by Alyssa Simmons.
Hi.
Daniel Dawson. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest with us, a real-life Jedi Master, our friend and colleague, Robert Orosco.
Yay!
Hello.
And by God, we're Star Wars fans.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Star Wars Inside the Tauntaun. This is our podcast opening song. Alyssa, Daniel, and Dino talking about Star Wars. Like and subscribe. Okay, welcome, Robert, Inside the Tauntaun. We're so happy to have you here.
I'm very, very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Guys, if you don't know Robert, he is a Star Wars super fan.
Yeah, to say the least.
And he didn't just bring himself with him today. He brought Darth Vader and Yoda, and they're quite literally sitting at the table
beside
with
us.
us.
Yeah, Yoda has a little booster seat. It's very cute.
Yes, he's sitting there. So, Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself within the Star Wars world. What was your first Star Wars memory?
You were born, and then what happened?
That's right. Born and then Star Wars. Before we get to that, I have a surprise for all three of you.
Oh, my God.
All three of you.
Already?
Okay, already.
Oh, it's happening.
I like to start with the good stuff and then make it even better.
Oh my God.
I'd like to gift you with something just that reminded me of all of you in the research that I've done on your podcast. All right, Alyssa,
Okay.
you get this figurine of Princess Leia.
It's a Leia
Princess
action
Leia.
figure.
Oh my God, is it a lesbian Leia?
Of course.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Daniel, because you did such good voiceover work on the Emperor, I brought you the Emperor.
Oh my God! Oh,
These are
Dino
yours.
is so jealous
Oh,
right
that's
now.
from the Phantom Menace.
Oh, that's
Those are
dope.
yours to keep, but also Dino.
That's actually super dope.
This is from my collection, by the way, and those are yours to
Robert.
keep. So
Oh
they're special.
Robert.
Dino, this one's gonna knock your socks off. Are you ready?
Are you
No.
wearing socks?
This is something that was gifted to me, but it has value for you, I think, much more than myself because of what a picture that I saw of you wearing a special hat. So this is a Empire Strikes Back 1980 Imperial Commander.
Oh, my God.
With his gun.
What?
That is still in a sort of a package, but that's how I received it. So
Robert.
I'd like to give that to you.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's yours to keep. Yeah. I mean,
Robert, thank you.
what good would it do?
Well, my socks
on my
are
shelf
off now, so...
You guys.
This is amazing.
Robert, that is so generous. How cool. 1980.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes.
Wow.
I don't even know how I acquired that. I just acquired things from Star Wars over the years on this earth. for me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
You're very welcome. All right, so the question was...
Okay.
That's our show today. I need to go cry.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. These will be our official mascots, and we'll bring them with us when we record. Always.
I am
now.
never taking him out of the package, ever.
Leia is now standing on top of my sound shield, and I'll probably knock her off accidentally, but she's
I'm
going
gonna
to be
sleep
there
with
right now.
mine.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I'm not gonna you know what I mean.
Thank
I'm
you.
not gonna,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Thank you, Daniel.
It's going to be in your room. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Robert, what's your first Star Wars memory?
First Star Wars memory was seeing The Empire Strikes Back out of the back of my parents' station wagon, a Pontiac station wagon with the hatchback lifted up, and my sister and I were inside looking at this. We're at drive-in.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait,
obviously,
what?
yeah.
It's like, what a fancy
People are like,
station wagon.
What are drive-ins? But yeah, we were in my parents were sitting in lawn chairs in front of us, and my sister and I were watching from the back of the Pontiac orange, station wagon that we were in with our sleeping bags, and I had no idea what Star Wars was, but seeing it on that screen and that movie.
That'd be so dope.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, the Hoth scene on a giant screen.
Yeah.
When you are, I don't even know how old I was. I don't remember exactly how old I was. I just remember seeing it. Just blew my mind. I was just in awe of the magnanimous universe that was opened up before me. So much so that that I was instantly hooked and just transported to another world, and the characters, just the imaginative process of how it is to build that movie just blew me away. Yeah.
Also, can I say how much I miss drive-in movies?
Me too.
I do. They were so fun. Like,
They're kind of making a comeback,
Are
actually.
they?
Like we're in this huge like nostalgia kick right now. I think
Yeah.
culturally, and
that's legit.
I've
But we
seen.
only have like one, I think, in all of Southern California, and it's in like the city of industry.
But I know a few have opened in Texas.
Shout out to the
and
city of industry.
Industry, California, where all your packages are. I feel like they all come from
They do,
the Amazon
yeah.
fulfillment center.
Yeah, they
industry.
do. That's it.
But no, I feel like I saw in Texas a few of these drive-in
Yeah.
movie theaters
Well,
we
have
should-
reopened. and
we should keep an eye out because maybe they're gonna, this summer do Star Wars movies.
Oh,
Yes.
that'd be so
Yes.
fun.
That would be so fun.
I love that.
So when you were watching Empire, was there a character that you were immediately drawn to?
like attracted to, like you really wanted.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? For me, yes. Han Solo,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was attracted to.
I think
him, too.
pops more in my mind initially, but once I got into Star Wars, it changed and evolved. But obviously, Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Probably Han Solo and Darth Vader
That makes sense.
Yeah.
would be the two from that movie. That's the most honest answer I can give. But ironically,
Don't you
it's
lie
not.
to us.
Yeah, I'm totally. Yeah, this is all made up answers.
I'll know it.
I don't like to say any real things
Well, I
when
mean,
I'm on podcasts.
Harrison Ford's performance in that movie in particular, in the
Really
trilogy,
great.
is one of his best performances in his career, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
probably.
I mean, it's
because it's just very real, and he got to like. He also got a lot of freedom. It seems like.
right.
They're like,
He has the swagger still, and
Uh-huh.
kind of that acerbic wit, but then you kind of peel back the layers when you realize, oh, he's got a soft spot.
yeah.
And then the carbonite scene. I mean,
Where he just came up
emotionally,
with a line.
yeah, it just unbelievable.
He's so good.
That's awesome.
Well,
I love
Um,
you.
Well,
I
that
know.
what was I gonna say?
My name's Alyssa. Blah blah blah.
I'm in charge. What was the moment that you knew that you were just an absolute fan? Was it after that film, or was it when you started to kind of go back and
Yeah, like when did you like start
when
like
when were you like,
obsessing
oh,
about the
this
toys
is
and,
this
like,
is real. This is like a real thing.
I think for me, it landed more once I saw A New Hope, because I'm pretty sure I saw Empire Strikes Back first, and
Sure.
then I saw A New Hope.
Yeah.
When I saw A New Hope, that to me opened up my imagination to a point to where I wanted to be in that universe.
Right.
You're like,
right.
oh my gosh, there's a prequel?
Yeah, I mean, I remember playing in trees where the tree was a low-hanging tree, was the Millennium Falcon.
Cute.
And I would play every character. I didn't care who it was. I would play Princess Leia. I would play Star Wars, 3PO.
You make a great
Luke.
Princess Leia.
It didn't matter to me. I just wanted to be in the
amazing.
universe. It was
that.
really cool.
Was
It's so inclusive.
your family, were they big fans as well? Like, did your folks like it, and your sister, or not so much?
I think my sister did more like just one character that she related to, but not necessarily. And she loves it now, by the way. But because of her son and everything, and how you rediscover it through the generations. But at the time, it was meh. She was more into Duran Duran and
Yeah.
pop music and
Also
MTV.
good choices, but
Yes.
Yeah, a fan, but not like me. I once that movie came out, once I saw A New Hope, I was done. I was just hooked for
Yeah.
life.
Absolutely. Let's see, what else? What and if you can wrap it up into like a couple of sentences, or talk however long you want. I'm not. Why am I
No,
telling
you-
Why am I telling you what
have
to do?
he's a master,
Um,
for God's sake.
And go.
How did you feel the Rise of Skywalker wrapped everything up? Were you happy with that film? Tell us your feelings and thoughts.
I was very happy with it. Nervous because, especially now with social media and how we didn't have that back then, obviously. No. So it was more of a personal experience that you would share through conversation, but you wouldn't talk about it as much. You would just go and enjoy it, and then it would kind of live in you until the next one came out.
Right.
And now it's so instant. People post things, people vlog about things. They, have podcasts. It's conventions. We just talked about, celebration and how that happens. But people are so obsessive now and picking apart every single detail that it's almost impossible to make like a perfect film.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And in the end, it's still Star Wars. If you are picking it apart to the point to where you're looking at all the flaws of it and anything outside of Star Wars, then I feel sorry for you because it's like you're not enjoying it for what it's intended to be. It was never intended to be something to be picked apart. I mean, who likes to be dissected and absolutely picked apart? Because you can find flaws in anything, but it's
absolutely.
And I think one thing that's awesome about the Star Wars universe is the suspension of disbelief that you have to have in order to let your imagination go there with the films. There is an element of, that's kind of like an actory term, the suspension of disbelief, but you have to, you as the audience member have the opportunity to kind of fill in the blanks or guess about things or just be okay with just not having everything, every teeny tiny piece be there.
Well, and we've mentioned it before that we've picked apart Star Wars. I mean, that's what we're kind of doing on this podcast, is in some ways picking it apart. But everybody has their preference of which movie is their favorite, which content they like to absorb, and everybody has their own flavor of Star Wars. I think Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni had said that there's a different flavor of Star Wars for everybody, and it doesn't devalue all the other stuff.
There's a Dave Filoni flavor, which is very
there
delicious.
Yes,
It's a delicious flavor.
He's amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
George Lucas is heir apparent spiritually, I think.
Pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting too. Like just more recently, we've been getting news about the book of the movie.
Yes, the novelization of Rise of Skywalker.
And how they're sort of like randomly filling in all the blanks that weren't in the film.
Expanding on things that weren't really touched on. So we're going to crack that. I think it comes out March 17th.
Yes.
I would be excited to read that for sure.
Oh, is it that soon?
Yeah, it's soon.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I thought it was like later this year or something.
No, it's...
no, the first book is next week. And
Wait, first book?
Yeah, I don't think they're doing it. Are they releasing everything all at the same time?
Yeah, it's one book, I think.
No, but there are more books.
Yeah, no, there's more books, but
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, yeah, so not the Project Luminous or whatever. What was it? Not Luminous.
Yeah.
Not that.
This is the Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
The official novelization.
Yes.
Yeah. When does the Light of the Jedi?
I think that comes out.
That's later this year.
Oh, okay.
I think that this summer into the fall.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready for that on March 17th. So.
Oh no!
I know.
No.
Nope.
Now we said at the top of the show that we have a real life Jedi Master with us.
Mm-hmm.
That Robert is indeed a Jedi Master. Robert, explain yourself.
Explain yourself.
Funny story. So
this had better make me laugh.
Better be funny.
Why do people say that, right? Funny story.
We're laughing. We're having a good time.
Terrible lead-in.
Hey, you already succeeded. We're laughing. We're having
Funny.
a great
This is
time.
my first podcast, by the way.
You did it.
My first podcast. And there's the real funny story. It's not really funny. It's just a story.
Stop
if you find
lying.
it funny, then hopefully you might laugh or find it enjoying. Anyway, so there was a show that existed at the Disneyland Resort at Tomorrowland Terrace called the Jedi Training Academy.
I remember it.
That I was affiliated with, and I got to be a master in that show. And it didn't really land until I had a costume
Sorry,
fitting.
that was my ice maker. I hope you aren't too scared. Everything's fine.
He's got it's a Death Star ice maker.
Yes.
You should see it.
Yeah, it is. It's in the shape of a giant Death Star.
I actually do have the Death Star ice mold.
I do too!
Does it have a thermal exhaust port?
Yes.
Yes, it sure does. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. So it didn't really land that I auditioned for the show, and then I actually was cast in it as the role of the Jedi Master.
What was the audition like, actually? I'm curious.
That actually is a funny story. So they put you in a line, like 5 at a time, and you're asked to, like, on the spot, tell us your Jedi name.
Mm-hmm.
And
you just had to, like, come up with one.
Step forward one at a time.
Oh.
This is just part of it, like a speaking part of it. And tell us your Jedi name and what planet you're from.
Like, hi, I'm Jedi Robert.
I think I made up a name in the moment, you know.
Cool.
I didn't keep that name because later we got to make up our Jedi names for real.
Ooh.
Like,
That's so cool.
for real.
I'm Robert Skywalker.
Jedi Bob.
Jedi.
It's the worst
my name,
Jedi
Jedi
name.
Bob.
He died.
Shout out to all the
quickly.
Jedi Bobs out there.
Yeah, Star Wars is something for everybody.
Even you, Bob.
But circling back to when it landed for me, so there's that process of auditioning it and getting it and being, yay, you know, happy. But trying on the costume was, and for me, it was the belt. It was the Jedi belt.
Yeah.
And it was based off of Obi-Wan's costume.
Cool.
Who's definitely one of my favorite Jedis, arguably probably the best defensive Jedi, lightsaber duelist and strategist, and just amazing master that we've seen in the universe of Star Wars. And for me, wearing that, I didn't want to take it off. I didn't want to take the costume off. I was like beaming ear to ear and just so proud to put that on, but also never take it off. I'm like, I feel so confident and
he
wonderful.
still is wearing it
And I'm
right
wearing
now.
it right now.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it did not belong
got
to
in
me.
a lot of trouble.
It doesn't smell great, but it looks fantastic.
Yes, so there's that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Do you have any special memories of doing the show and making a connection with a guest in the park? Maybe a kid or a family that was like very obviously very impacted by what you guys were doing?
Well, yes. I mean, there are a number of it changed the way I performed, because as a Jedi Master in front of people and children that you are training, it was very it was like a training academy. I took it as it was real. Like, I really invested myself into taking it very serious and not being, because Star Wars can be very funny, you know, at times, and be very, you know, it's just Star Wars, but the meaning behind it was so, it just rang true to me. It always has.
Yeah.
So I took it very seriously, and
I mean, I think it is partly. It's funny because it is taken seriously,
right?
You know, that's part of the funny.
Sure.
Yeah.
But these kids are. I mean, they're look. I can't even imagine being their age and looking up,
man.
and they get to lightsaber duel Darth Vader.
I mean, that's nuts.
I mean,
So cool.
Darth Vader his height is what with.
He's 6'4", I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Prowse was
I think
6'4".
so.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids are
yeah.
anywhere from what were they, 4 or 5, all the way up to teenage years. But
Yeah, just as an interjection, I would have not gotten close to that. Like,
No way.
I would have not touched that with a 10-foot pole. That the idea of that just like terrifies me. Like, because I know that as a child, I would have shat myself. That
there
Yes.
there are some stories there too about that, about how scared kids got.
yeah, oh yeah.
But the vast majority of them were so brave, and just to see a child next to you in a robe with a practice lightsaber. You give them practice lightsaber so they don't hurt
Little
themselves.
younglings.
Yeah, little younglings, little Padawans. And just to see that, I mean, it was an emotional experience for me every time I did it, and I'm not exaggerating, because I took it so seriously and I gave it so much weight. Like, we're encouraging them to be brave and to fight the dark side, you know?
Right.
And a really amazing thing, you know. There were numerous times where some of the kids would, you don't know what to expect, because they don't know what to expect. So if they've done it before, then yes, they do. But if they're experiencing it for the first time, you never know what they're going to do. There were times that there were stormtroopers in the show that would kind of flank Darth Vader on each end of the stage, and they would just be standing there, as the stormtroopers do, with their blaster rifles. And there was a time when you tell the Padawan, stand here, and then they go through the combination that you taught them to duel Darth Vader. Well, this one time, I said, stand here, and my very Jedi Master voice.
That was good.
Yeah, that was not that great. but that's okay. That's okay. So I guess I didn't say it strong enough because the kid, from that point he was supposed to stand on, he just automatically beelined for the stormtrooper.
Good.
And at the time they had the really thick lightsaber ones that extend,
Right. Yeah.
So, and they're really light, but it doesn't feel good to be hit by those.
I can't imagine.
So the kid
Still
ran
hard
for...
plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, the stormtrooper is semi-protected with the armor that they have, but he was started whacking on the stormtrooper, and so my being so serious, I should have laughed in the moment, but I think playing it serious and what I would do in that situation as a master was what I did. Which is you kind of go.
You killed the child.
I think you're thinking about the Sith Academy.
Oh,
Struck him down.
No, this is the Jedi Academy, training academy. So I just walked over there as quickly as I could and tried to hide it on my face. And the show must go on, so bring him back. And I don't know if that just came out of the kid, on his own, or his parents told him to do it. But he was pretty young, so I don't know. I'm still undecided.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's.
I love that.
Well, there's that famous video of that girl.
Oh God, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Participates in the academy, and Darth Vader walks out, and the master guides her to her spot, and she proceeds to kneel down. And pledge herself to him.
Yeah.
And her parents are like, no.
Yeah.
Not a girl.
It is a truly
I feel like that was me. I would have done that.
You would have done that.
Oh, no doubt.
Totally.
Let's be real.
No doubt.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
That's
If you
amazing.
can't beat him, join him.
Kids are so great.
I've seen a child wear a bounty hunter Mandalorian full costume. This is years ago. Who just wanted to be a part of the show, but participate in the costume. And I mean, magic was made when this child's, and you couldn't see the child's face. He didn't want to take the helmet off, did not. So stood there with a plastic blaster rifle.
Okay.
And just stood on the side, and it was guarded by the stormtroopers.
Cute.
While the show happened. And just wanted to stand there and be a part of the show. This tiny little Mandalorian, bounty hunter just was able to do that.
Life made.
It was serious magic, and I know that took some doing for him to get to that point because it is a show.
Mm-hmm.
The parents know that, but I know that was serious magic for that child and a memory that he'll never forget. I remember seeing the pictures. You could probably find them online or something.
Yeah. If you guys don't know about the show that we're talking about, it's not currently running. It closed 1 year ago.
It evolved into what closed about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I think, yes, it was the Jedi Training Academy and evolved into Jedi Training Trials of the Temple.
Right.
Right. I forgot.
Yeah, kind of
Which
evolved.
Changed as the Star Wars universe changed into a more Jedi in hiding kind of atmosphere. That was the temperature of that.
Which one did you like better?
They're both amazing. I think it was more casual for the second version of it. And I don't mean casual like, oh, we don't care about it.
Whatever, you can learn it if you want to.
There was just different stakes. If the Jedi were in hiding, the Jedi Master that I played wasn't really a master the second time. He was more he was training to be a master. So he was still didn't have a good grasp on it.
Okay.
But was also training a youngling, so
Got it.
or have into a knight to face her fears and to also he had good training but not enough.
Oh my gosh!
When the purge happened, so yeah,
Sorry, my microphone almost just fell into my lap.
Oh no!
You don't want to hear that.
Gunk squish. So if you would like to see that show, you can obviously search on YouTube. They have the original version that Robert was talking about, and also the Trials of the Temple version, and
you'll probably see him.
And
more
you
than
might
likely.
you might see
Maybe.
You might see R.C. Ormond. Shout out to R.C. Ormond and Kwame. Those two both deserve so much credit because I learned so much from them, and just they were show after show after show. But just the number of
And Chris, too,
Padawans
right?
they trained. Chris Mendez.
Yeah.
There are a number of Jedi Masters that I'm forgetting, but those two were the ones that were two of the originals that, were just fantastic that I learned a lot from.
How many years did you do it, Robert?
I have a little thing here that says it's just official. The Jedi Council officially thanks Robert Orosco for your contributions to the Jedi Training Academy. Over the last 9 years and 2 months, you and your fellow Jedi have become a family, defined your reverence of the Force, and shaped by your commitment to the success of the students. Thank you to your contributions to our 19,022 training sessions. A total of 608,704 younglings were trained and declared Padawans. The stunning record of success proves that you are more than worthy to teach the ways of the Force. Through your skill, determination, and effort, thousands of lives have been touched, and for many, changed forever. As a Master Yoda once said, pass on what you have learned. You have done this with poise, care, and skill. The Force will be with you always.
That's so
pretty cool.
Sweet.
That's so cool. That made me
That's-
so emotional.
His
honestly.
framed
I mean, we are
certificate.
smiling ear to ear.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Wow,
Special.
what an amazing, especially for a huge Star Wars fan, what an amazing thing that you got to. I mean, you it was an acting job, but you got to share what makes Star Wars special.
Yeah.
So many people, and that's something that motorcycle. That's something that I think. Yeah, that's
You
just
probably
so...
nurtured a bunch of like brand new Star Wars fans that are probably fanatics now.
The show evolved. It evolved over the years as it existed, but it was never empty.
No.
I remember. Yeah.
The want to be in the show.
Yeah.
The original show, the Jedi Master would stand there and at the beginning would say, "Who would like to become a Jedi?" Mm-hmm. And the children, girls, boys, adults, would raise their hand, and then there were only so many slots. I believe 32 was the most. Maybe perhaps there were more.
You have 32 kids in the show?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And you
session.
did it 6 times a day? 5, 6?
Something like that, like 6
Yeah.
times.
We're
a day.
gonna need more stormtroopers.
Yeah, it's a lot of Padawans trained. But that process, I gotta tell you, because of the energy coming at you when people are raising their hand and they want to be a part of it so bad, it was difficult. And you try to choose. Okay, now I'm choosing a girl. I'm choosing a boy. You see people in their most desperate state of please pick me. They would make signs.
Right.
They'd be
Sure,
in costumes.
sure.
They'd have their own props.
Wow.
I paid $40 million to come to the park today, please.
Exactly. The pride that from the parents and the children as they get picked, like they, and at the end, it's beautiful with beautiful music when you are pronouncing them to be official Padawans and learners. They all receive like a certificate of like graduation that states that they are now Padawan learners and they can learn the way of the Force.
That's so cool.
And the parents just in tears, and the kids are just like holding up their lightsabers, and it was such an amazing, really rewarding. I mean, there's a reward. I probably would have done it for free. Don't tell anyone that, but but the rewards and memories of that, if I forget that, that's a shame, because those children hopefully won't. I mean, hopefully it shaped.
Well, they won't.
Shape
I
their
mean,
lives.
What an amazing service you did. I mean, giving people of all ages quite possibly their first Star Wars moment. And beyond that, building confidence in kids of all shapes and sizes. And
I know I definitely could have used that training as a kid because I was so scared about everything.
Yeah, I would have been with you, Daniel. No joke. I would not be able to.
I would have been. I was
Horrified.
way too shy
Yeah.
when I was younger. I just would have.
Sob cried.
Yeah, I would have.
And we're all fans of Star Wars. Can you imagine
Right.
that?
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But I totally relate to that because
Yeah,
I
would have
not.
wanted to do it, but I would have been, which is so weird. That now
Mortified.
that's what we all do for a living. But like, I would have just been so nervous to like really go do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have watched it, and then I would have been so sad that I didn't.
That's
FOMO,
exactly me.
FOMO for sure.
I was
but-
like, I wish I could have been
Right.
wearing the robe and holding the saber, and now they all have that cool certificate, but I didn't. I would have been too nervous.
Yeah.
Anxiety. Is
And there's a
so
lesson
real.
there too. When I talk
I
about
wish I had CBD oil back then.
that's
As
not
a child.
that's not the lesson I was
No.
talking about.
Yeah.
We're not endorsing
That's not
that
the
in
Jedi way.
children.
No, this Tauntaun has been brought to you by CBD oil.
But I mentioned the kids who got picked, the ones who didn't. There's a lesson there too, because there were so many that didn't get picked. So as a parent, I would watch. And I'm a parent now, but
Yep.
at the time I
And
wasn't.
the kids
but,
that did get picked, they all hate Star Wars now.
I hope not. I hope not, but maybe. But I would see the ones that I gravitated towards were the parents who would talk to their child, get down on their level, and be like, "Hey." You could literally see them say, "It's okay that you didn't get picked this time. Maybe next time."
Mm-hmm.
And I would try to connect with that. With the same, I would always look for that because I was so emotionally driven by. I want to include everyone.
Yeah.
But I'm only limited to so many spots. But I felt the weight of all that energy coming at me all the time. That it was almost too much
Yeah.
at
I
certain
bet.
points because
I
the
bet.
kids would cry,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and we don't. That's a real emotion.
How
It's
do you
not.
live with yourself?
Yeah, exactly. You Jedi Master.
But I mean, it sounds. It might sound silly to someone who's maybe not a Star Wars fan or doesn't invest emotionally
And
like
if
we
you
do.
aren't, then why
Oh,
are you
what is the
listening
matter
to
with
this
you?
podcast?
But-
So,
Are you even here?
But the Jedi lessons you teach are universally applicable because they are based in
Our reality.
in our different religions and our different. I mean, they are a reflection of that, and speaking to the fact that
I just realized that Disney was teaching religion.
George Lucas.
Yeah.
It wasn't Disney first.
Oh, no, I know that, but like in
Oh,
Disneyland.
you mean like- Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Yes, I guess, suppose in a
teaching
way.
the Jedi religion in
I'm-
Disneyland.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's a religion. I think,
But the idea of reflecting these universal
yes,
beliefs
spirituality, definitely.
Yeah.
of being quick to forgive, patience, and you speaking. It's so interesting.
Bravery, honesty.
Right, it's so interesting you bring up the disappointment aspect
Yeah.
of being a kid and not getting chosen, and then a parent being able to use this as a moment. It's like your time is coming.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Just
okay
be
that it
open
didn't
to it.
happen
Your
today.
time will come. And I find that just so beautiful and
Yeah.
and
I love
what
that.
what a inviting and exciting way to teach a kid that lesson in the prism of.
I think it's important. I mean,
Wars.
to not highlight that lesson, but it is a lesson to
Right.
learn, as well as, hey, sometimes you get picked and sometimes you don't, but don't lose hope or
Right.
faith that maybe next time that you will come back.
Right.
And, I don't want to come back. You see parents, I don't want to come back. I don't want to get it too much into that, but there's a wonderful thing that's happening when
love
that
that.
happens, because you see both sides,
Sure.
the disappointment, but also the elation when they are picked, so to speak. And it was just a random thing, and it eventually evolved into a sign up. So people would have to go and actually,
Gotcha.
and it would be filled, and you'd have to go there specifically. So it was a lot of emotion tied up in it, but really cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
So like, there's a lot of new content, Star Wars content, like Mandalorian and like the new Clone Wars final season. I mean, like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. What are you? I mean, I know you watch
What are you
Mandalorian because we
Yeah.
talked a lot about that, but yeah, tell us what you're doing in the Star Wars world
First of all, do
lately.
you like Baby Yoda? Are you like okay with him?
The child, yes, I do love the child very much.
The child.
Mandalorian for me, and we talked about Filoni earlier too.
Yeah.
I think he's incredible. I think
Masterful.
He's so amazing.
his
You're always welcome to come on the show, Dave. Anytime.
yeah. I mean, I would be so excited to talk to him, or just a conversation with him.
If he comes to the show, which I think he'll do maybe the next episode.
Oh,
We're just gonna put
probably,
that out
yeah.
there in the
Yeah.
universe.
Nice.
You're very welcome to come back.
That's our new thing. We
Paving
just
the way.
promised really famous Star Wars guests on the
If
next
you subscribe,
episode.
I promise.
Turns out he couldn't be here for today, but he's definitely coming next time.
Next month, John Williams.
Yeah,
Yes,
amazing.
yeah, we've got everybody.
Amazing.
Dave Filoni.
But no, but I mean, we said earlier that Dave Filoni kind of feels like the spiritual successor to George Lucas because Clone Wars, the cartoon, was the last thing George Lucas produced, at least in part produced with Dave Filoni.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of before Disney even purchased Lucasfilm. This was kind of the handing the reins over to another creative mind. And
wait, was it before? Which season did Disney purchase it?
well, Clone Wars, before it came back, I believe ended.
Oh, so it ended before Disney.
Maybe the middle of the
What was it? I need to go back and check it. It might have been 2012 or 2013. So either right when the purchase was happening or right afterwards. Because I remember there was.
Because I don't know. Because I'm still catching up. I'm actually.
I remember there was
season 4 right now.
There was a frustration among fans that it was going away, and
It's
that's
not
where
finished
where
yet.
they invited Rebels in, and
Right. So are you watching the final season of Clone Wars?
Yes, I'm actually watching both as the new one has come out. I'm caught up, but I'm also rewatching because it's so good. I mean,
so good.
the details are and the character development. I'm just all into that, and to see Anakin in that light and how he grows, and Ahsoka Tano, and
Hanukkah.
also connected with Rebels combined with that too. They're both phenomenal. I mean, the storytelling is great. I would love to see that on a big screen, but I don't think I need to. To me, it's almost the same thing.
it's a great medium.
Totally.
For
Yeah.
And what they can do. And the lightsaber duels, I mean, I was just watching, I'm at the season, I forget what season it is. Maybe it's season 2 or 4. Anyway, but it's with Darth Maul and with his brother.
Yeah,
And
Savage.
yeah, and it's incredible. Like just to see that evolve and what happened to Darth Maul, like he was cut in half and then turned into a spider.
It goes
And-
insane.
Yeah, he goes up, and it's like, yes, of course he does,
Yeah.
And to see him like that, and the power from the witches that created Savage and helped Darth Maul,
Right.
And
love
if,
that whole
Those witches
storyline.
are in Rebels, and I saw them in Rebels, but I haven't watched Clone Wars, so I don't know
you need
all
to
about
watch
them.
it
I'm
immediately.
almost done with Rebels, so it's gonna be.
Well, they've
soon.
turned Darth Maul into one of the most interesting characters in all of Star Wars in his comic book incarnation.
Which I'm so glad, because honestly, he didn't get
What he deserved.
what he deserved from the prequel films.
Yeah.
Like
from the prequel film.
for film,
Yeah.
singular.
right.
Singular.
That's the one.
Yeah, because what a complex, interesting story.
Well, and a shout out to Sam Witwer, who does the voice of Maul.
Yes.
And gives him so much color and depth. And as we were saying, it makes total sense that he goes insane. And he's driven by two things: his hatred of Obi-Wan for putting him in this position, and then his hatred of the Sith for betraying him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And his whole life has been a lie. He's been a tool, and so he seeks vengeance on everybody, and he's driven by absolute madness. And it's
You're like, I
So
feel
wonderful.
for you. Yeah, you go get your vengeance,
Yeah, you
girl. Go get it.
Good job, Molly.
Yeah, Mal.
But you know what's cool with that too is like they go to
Molly.
Dathomir and you see the planet where he's from.
yeah,
And to me, that's cool because you see where he came from, and
Right.
that they're a warrior type of
Right.
people. His people are warriors, and that they fight, and it's just their way of life. So
Right.
you understand where he came from and why he did what he did, as far as the dark side and being
Right.
seduced and all that. Yeah, but crazy, and the Emperor just so pulling the strings all the way, the through line all the way to Rise of Skywalker. Phenomenal.
every tiny little manipulation.
Yeah.
And the patience he has to develop this plan. And
That's what you learn from Star Wars. Patience.
well, what's so great is like we're kind of in on the Emperor's manipulation because like the Clone Wars is entirely of his design, controlling
Right.
both sides, but you
Right.
forget that while you're watching it, and then Order 66 happens, and you're like, oh my God.
Oh my.
I remember this was
oh.
all a setup.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, I don't know, just sitting around a table, like, trying to discuss that plan with, like, your friends? Be like, okay, I have this idea. And they're all like, what?
Huh?
You're going to do that
I
for
call it-
how long?
I call it my 50-year vision.
Wait, what?
Right.
Now stay with me.
I mean,
Stay
how
with
do
me.
you even know that's going to work? What
It's
if
going
at
to
the-
take a long time, but it's
We're
going
go-
to be totally worth
3
it.
apprentices, all right?
No. Hold on. Wait. What if at the end of the 50 years you just get thrown down a shaft? You know?
Well, Exegol,
Wait.
I've got a body waiting just for that scenario.
No. Wait. What? I don't know. I just think it's so interesting to me that like he could have had the foresight to like.
Well, he did.
Yeah.
And that the novelization is going to shed light on Palpatine's long con and then what happened as he was falling down the reactor shaft.
Right.
He was like
Ooh, I
doing
can't
He
wait.
was like doing
Transference and
Yeah.
He's like, wow, so crazy. He's just saying a quick Sith prayer as he's like,
Right.
just before he hits the ground.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
He's Catholic.
Yeah, really. At the end of the day.
I mean, he is. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He is.
I mean, he's like, he's got the little, he's the he's got the little black Pope robe. It's the
My
same.
gosh. Palpatine is not Catholic.
No.
Sorry, Catholic friend.
Palpatine.
Palpatine.
But Robert, so in that vein, are you happy with the direction Star Wars is going? It's there will still be films, obviously, and they're branching off into different directions separate from the Skywalker saga. But do you think the future is bright with television, with Disney Plus, with the new books they're rolling out?
Yeah, do you like the fact that there's more content?
Are you excited?
I do. Actually, I do. I didn't think I would when Disney acquired it, to be honest. I'm like, oh no, I was a little afraid.
They're gonna ruin it.
Maybe a little bit of that, but just I thought it would just be oversaturation.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I think many people thought, or fans
Yep.
thought.
Yep.
Maybe it's so funny talking
risk
like
is
this
still
because
there.
I don't normally have these conversations, so it's like to let these things out is pretty cool.
Get it off your chest.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
You know,
This is really just
Tell
like
us what you really
Star Wars confession hour.
Yeah,
You
I
just
mean
get-
it's great.
feels
Don't
so
lie to
good
us.
to
If you
say
lie
it
to us,
all
we'll
out
know.
loud.
But yeah, I had that thought initially, but then once the execution of it, I think has been fantastic, and I'm all for it. And I think with the storytelling and all with everything that's out there that Disney acquired and that they've produced since then, I think moving forward, there's a great opportunity to have like a rebirth. It almost seems like the story keeps going on, and
Right.
that is something. If you're a Star Wars fan or not, you can understand how history repeats itself, where we are as a society, and superpowers and meaning like people or corporations or whatever it might be, or something emotionally that you're going through to overcome that. It's all in there.
Yep.
You just gotta find it and flush it out, and it might ring true for one person, like you said. Star Wars is very personal to the individual, and I think that's the way it should be. That's the greatness of it. And if you miss it and you're like, meh, I don't care. I think that's kind of cool too, because some people are just like, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't really care. And then they see it and like, wow, that's okay, and they get nothing from it,
Yeah.
which I think is fascinating, but also like, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, you're a terrible person, but cool.
and that's scientific. I mean, you are scientifically less important than me. If you want
Yes, we've discovered that through
saves
science.
me a ton of time and energy because
Right.
I don't have to have these conversations with them at all.
right. Yeah.
We're scientists.
We
here.
are. Yeah, that's what our degrees in.
Star Wars science.
And you're playing Fallen Order
Yes.
right now.
Oh yeah, where
Yes.
are you in that process?
I am towards the end, and I'm creeping along so slowly because I don't want it to end.
Which planet are you on? Do you remember?
I have just created my own lightsaber.
Oh, y'all.
Yeah, and I've moved on a little past that. So I am. What planet am I on? I am.
Wait, what planet was that? That's not the Wookiee planet, was it?
No, Kashyyyk. No. I'm way past that.
I'm not there yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
okay.
Yeah, we don't want to ruin it for Alyssa.
It's okay.
Or people who haven't played.
But I mean, without saying too much, I mean, because we don't want to like. But it's so cool how they've like taken a lot of the themes from Dave Filoni's stuff.
Yes.
Well,
Put it in there.
we were talking
Well,
about it at
yeah.
the top. The Purge era is so interesting. The Dark Ages of Star Wars. where
Yeah.
Jedis are, if they're still alive, it's a fugitive lifestyle.
Right.
No outward expressions of the Force.
Yep. Super dark.
But yeah, that like it was so because I mean I haven't watched all of Clone Wars yet, so there was a storyline in there that I didn't even know existed, and I was like, oh, and it's cool that I'm actually going to be like learning about it backwards because I saw it like after it was all done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think you've gotten there yet in the game, so I'm not going to spoil it. But it's just like, ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's really cool. Yeah, if you haven't gotten it, you should get it.
Yeah,
Right, Alyssa?
I did not own an Xbox up until 3 weeks ago, and
She
it's
got it
Robert's
literally-
fault that I bought one so
Productivity is
specifically
dead.
so I could play Fallen Order. And
Well, and, you know, if you're not a gamer, they have like what they call a story mode on there.
yes, and that's what I'm playing on actually because you know, I am a Nintendo person, so I've always had Nintendo systems, and this is quite
A
different
little more
for me.
complicated.
That second joystick is a learning
Troublesome.
curve.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing, and honestly, the graphic design and these animators are freaking incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
like I cannot believe how my wife walked in while I was playing it and was like, "Oh, are you watching a movie?" Like she thought I was watching a Star Wars film.
The motion capture has made storytelling across all mediums just unbelievably rich. And
Yeah, it's just incredible. After my first session playing it, I texted Robert like with a video, and I was just like, I am a Jedi. I am
Pence.
one.
Pooping
Yeah!
pants.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I have a question for you.
Okay.
How was it introducing Star Wars to your son?
Oh man. Very carefully, I think. I don't know that I did it in a way that was like. I think I just kind of said, "Here it is," you know. And it was around him, so he grew up with it. I don't know how he views it, but he saw me as a young child on the stage in the costume,
Right.
training Padawans. And
I was so confused because he said he saw me as a young child, and he was like, "Wait, what?
yes,
He went back in time."
he
His
has
son
force powers.
is Benjamin Button.
That's right. Yeah.
The Jedi.
the world in between worlds.
Yeah, no, he's actually Doc Brown. He's
Ooh, time travel in Star Wars. That's a whole nother.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
But so I don't know how he viewed it. I know that it was kind of protected because he just saw me in shows.
Right.
But he also was a lot like me when I was young, where I was mortified of being up there because I said, hey, you know, as he would come to the park and my wife would bring him to watch me, I said, do you want to be a part of it, you know, and on our own? And he's like, no, I don't think so. And I was never going to force him. I would never, you know.
Of course.
You
Of
should.
course.
There's my boy.
Right.
Get up there. You're going to do it. So it's interesting, but he absolutely loves it. He has so many Star Wars toys. And the things that I have are his. And we were just talking earlier about I still have things in boxes, toys in boxes that were gifted to me by people. Because people found out over the years that I'm a fan. They would just give me things and add to my collection. So I just now have this big, massive Star Wars collection of toys and a
You
picture.
have a whole room in your house, right? A whole
I do.
Star Wars room.
I do.
Amazing.
My
Me a
wife
Star
made
Wars
me a
room.
Star Wars room.
Yeah. She's good.
That's love.
It's
That
got
Heather.
lightsaber sconces. It's got, I mean,
Do you hear that, future wife?
Yeah. There you go.
Listen
You're
to this.
responsible.
How to land Dino.
The gauntlet has been thrown. A room, not a shelf.
Yeah.
A room,
Not an area in the
not
garage.
an area.
Yeah, pretty phenomenal.
Yeah,
It's kind of a cool place where Isaac and I hang out. My son's name is Isaac. And we play games, and there's a TV in there, and sometimes we read or we just kind of hang out there. And there's all kinds of Star Wars books as well, like encyclopedias and visual things that you can see and look at. We can talk about it whenever we do. He's not necessarily all about it, but he's definitely up on it. We all, as a family, we talked about Mandalorian.
Right.
And for me, Mandalorian really sparked the love of Star Wars again for me.
Totally.
The,
Me
love
too.
that.
too.
the timing of
Me
it, but
too.
I'm also like, yes, that's Star Wars. That's
That's
how I
it.
first was introduced to Star Wars, because it wasn't fast. It wasn't like ripping out of the gates. It just took its time. There wasn't a ton of dialogue.
It's dirty,
yeah.
grimy,
Yeah.
kind of well-worn Star Wars feeling.
That really good kind of like sarcastic, dry humor
Old
when there
West.
is humor in there. Yeah, very
Yeah,
like what's that called? Like old spaghetti
Yeah,
western.
spaghetti western.
Yeah, like that feel without it feeling really pushed, like
Yeah.
we had talked about parts of Last Jedi and stuff, feeling a little bit like
Yeah.
get it? Do you understand
Yeah,
that
Rise
this
of
is the
Skywalker
Star
too. It's
and
like-
and Rise
yeah.
of Skywalker?
Like even the music is it's
Oh,
like a
it's
spaghetti
so
western, but
cool.
it's futuristic.
Ludwig
spaghetti western.
Göransson.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So good.
So good.
But
It's new and interesting, but still Star Wars.
Still totally
Yeah.
Star Wars. Yeah.
and that kind of reignited it, I think, for me. Not that it was ever out,
Yeah,
for
of
me
course not.
it was just a constant, and I carry that with me since I was a child. So yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a little game for us to play. Well, specifically Robert. These are going to be questions. These are going to be questions for Robert.
Dang.
Daniel, do you want to ask them?
Oh, really?
It's kind of like a this or that game. So
Okay.
you have to answer right away. You don't,
Quickly,
you don't
no
get to
thinking.
think about it.
Yeah.
Got
You
it.
just have to answer right away as fast as you can. So
Okay.
those are the
I'm
the
so
questions.
Nervous. I've never read these
Daniel
before. So
has
I'm
never
gonna-
read
this is the
before.
beginning.
Do that right.
So-
Daniel's never read
This
before,
is
so
I've never
sound
read
it out.
Doesn't know
anything.
how to.
Sound it out,
Okay,
Hunter.
but
Wait, hold on,
Oh,
hold on,
hold
hold
on.
on. I'm
He's
gonna
gotta
hold
get-
my lightsaber, 2 lightsabers that I
Oh,
brought.
2. Yeah.
Just the hilts.
Wait, tell us which hilts these are.
Yeah, these
Oh,
are
okay.
so cool. I wish you guys could see them. We'll take a picture and post
I
them
have
on
three
Instagram.
lightsabers that I own. I would definitely have more if it wasn't for my same wife who made me that Star Wars room, but she won't allow me because
That
would
was
have.
the trade-off. You have a room, you can't have the.
That's right. You can't have too much Star Wars gear. That also costs real money, so
It's
that's the
expensive.
problem. That's the
It's
problem.
an expensive hobby. Yeah.
No, but I just had to have the Jedi Temple Guard lightsaber hilt, which is beautiful white and gold hilt.
Really elegant looking.
Yeah,
it's so
it's
like
just-
delicate.
And the
Like,
sound
it's-
of it is so unique, and I
It's a
love
higher frequency, like
Yeah.
buzzing. Yeah.
it just, and if you think of the guards as being pure, those guards have masks and helmets that they don't reveal their face for their whole entire life. They're committed to the Jedi temple and the Jedi belief, like super hardcore, where they don't speak, and they're incredible. Anyway, I have that hilt, and we also have this one I built with Isaac. Isaac and I built this together
Oh,
at
cool.
Savi's workshop. And a funny story
Which
was
is in
like,
Galaxy's Edge, y'all, if you don't know.
that's
on
right.
the planet of Batuu.
On Batuu.
Really cool emotional experience, but only made more emotional and amazing that I was able to experience that with Isaac, who's 9 years old, and loves Star Wars as well. But I made a deal with him. I said, because I don't have a green lightsaber, and I'm into the lightsaber colors and what they represent, and more of the purist. So I gravitate towards the yellow. I like the yellow, but I really like green as well. So I said, Isaac, I have the Anakin Skywalker blue lightsaber, but I let's get, if they choose your lightsaber crystal, make sure that you choose green, okay? He's like, all right, Dad. So we go in there, and the lights and the amazing things that are happening, experience, and it's time to choose your crystal. And Isaac goes right for the blue, and I'm like, no. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's my heart was saying no. So I had to reach over and grab the green. Anyway, so that's what it is. This is
That's awesome.
peace and justice is what it
Peace and
represents.
justice.
Anyway, so there you go. Okay, I'm ready.
Amazing.
You ready for
Okay,
this?
so here's your Star
Rapid
Wars
fire.
this
Don't
or
be
that
scared.
Tauntaun
rapid fire.
fire.
Yeah, it's this. You have to pick.
Okay.
Okay, original trilogy: A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi.
A New Hope.
Prequel: The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith.
Who? Sequels: The Force Awakens, Last Jedi, TROS.
The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
what it
yeah, that
stands
threw me
for.
off. Ooh. The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, spin-offs: Rogue One, Solo, Star Wars story,
Rogue One.
or the Clone Wars.
Rogue One.
Great. Favorite trilogy: OG, prequel, sequel.
OG.
Canon Star Wars show: Clone Wars, Rebels, or Mandalorian.
Ooh. Dude, that's tough. I got
Say
one.
it, say it!
Okay,
Hard.
Did we lose? Are we dead?
It's okay. Everything's fine.
Oh,
please hold.
Yep.
Did we die?
Something happened.
What?
Wait, did we lose power?
Yeah.
No, I still have power.
There it is.
Okay, we're back. Sorry, everybody. We went away for a second. Now we're back.
How embarrassing.
I used my force
Oh
powers.
no! Do you know what happened? I need to scroll.
Do you need help?
No.
Okay.
We'll edit.
I don't need your help.
My force powers pushed.
You know what? Hold on.
I got so.
Okay, we were having some sound problems, but now we're back. Go, Danny.
Yeah. Okay. Canon Star Wars show. Clone Wars. Rebels. Mandalorian.
All of the above.
Oh, no, that's not the answer.
No.
Gotta choose
I
one.
want to
5,
accept
6,
it.
7,
I want
8.
to accept it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Clone
go.
Wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leading lady. Leia Organs. Padme Amidala. Or Rey.
Leia.
Nice. Scoundrel. Han Poe.
Han.
Villain. General Grievous. Emperor Palpatine. Count Dooku. Kylo Ren. Captain Phasma. Darth Vader. Darth Maul.
Oh, so many choices.
Wait, can I have the choices again?
General Grievous. Emperor Palpatine. Count Dooku. Kylo Ren. Captain Phasma. Darth Vader. Darth Maul.
Gotta be Palpatine.
Nice. Faye Skywalker. Anakin. Amidala. Leia. Luke. Ben Solo. Han Solo. Rey.
Did you say Faye Skywalker?
Favorite.
Oh, favorite Skywalker.
Solo's not a Skywalker.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. So try
Married in.
again.
Favorite Skywalker. Anakin. Or Anakin. Amidala. Leia. Luke. Ben Solo. Han Solo. Rey.
Luke.
Nice. Favorite droid, C-3PO, R2-D2, K2SO, BB-8, L-337, DO.
I'll go with R2.
Nice. OG squad, Leia, Han, or Luke.
Ooh. Luke.
Nice. Pre-squad, Amidala, Obi-Wan, Anakin.
Obi-Wan.
Sequel squad, Rey, Poe, Finn.
Rey.
Nice. You have
did it.
chosen the correct answers.
You won the game.
You won the game.
That was difficult.
Yeah,
that
you
wasn't
won.
easy.
Yeah, it's
It made me sweat.
That wasn't easy.
yeah. It becomes a lot more challenging if you have to answer right away.
Yeah.
You can't really think about it.
Yeah.
How do you
There was
feel?
one in there. I said A New Hope, but it should have been Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, well, no.
No
I think
takesies
it's-
back
I mean,
it's-
it's official record now.
Yeah,
so.
I know. It's over.
But what,
Sorry
does
to-
that,
what to
what
tell
does
you.
that say about you?
It's
I don't know.
well,
Let's look into that.
as the Jedi Master would say, it's all from your perspective.
Well, before we wrap this up,
I've heard none of your. I'm sorry, Dino. I've heard none of your Palpatine at all. I've been.
I'm sorry. Poop on your face.
That's why.
and that's why we don't let him do it.
That's why you don't let him do it. That's it.
Before we reach the end here,
Before we poop on your face.
There we go, and the door is open.
and we've lost him. We've lost
Daniel's
him for good.
fired. Bye.
He's done.
Oh, God.
We would love to hear your impression of a tauntaun.
A tauntaun?
A tauntaun.
Yeah, you got this.
No judgment.
Yes.
I'm gonna count to 3, and you're gonna give us your
It's
best
better
tauntaun.
if you can't remember what it sounds like.
It is better.
Whatever comes out.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
You
ready?
got it. Okay,
Here, let's
let's go.
count
I'm in.
together. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
That's really good, Robert.
Yeah. It was,
Oh, I can't remember. Wait, and then it does it exactly.
I was committed.
I
That's
was
actually
awesome.
was a tauntaun
Yeah.
in the film. I did all the sound effects.
In the park, he ran around as a tauntaun.
Yes,
Yeah.
obviously. Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much
Yeah, this is
for
Robert,
being a
this was
guest with
amazing.
us today.
I want to come back. That's all I have to
we
say.
absolutely-
It's already been written
This
in
is
stone.
like this is
well, you're already coming back for the Dave
Scratching
Filoni
the
episode,
surface.
so...
Right,
Yes.
Dave Filoni's going to be with us.
Yeah, and you're coming back for that, so...
He just texted me. He said,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
He
he'll
did.
be here.
Yeah.
He got stuck in traffic today, Saturday.
But yeah, it's getting really hot inside this tauntaun. With
Ooh, it's
4
gutsy.
people, it's
Yeah.
really full.
Steamy. All right.
Well, we will see you next time, folks. I'm Dino.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Dan.
I'm Robert. Thanks for having me, guys.
May the force be with you.
Always.